Probably many of you have as well. And I'm glad to share some of the things that we have learned over time that have made our lives easier. The session that I'm going to cover today is about setting settings in your custom model. So I'll try to end on time because everybody's probably getting hungry. And some of the things that I'm going to cover in this session are how to use the custom settings in your modules, and some of the limitations and workarounds of the settings that are available in .NET Nuke. I will not go over what the different settings in .NET Nuke are. So it's more of a developer-oriented session, and I welcome any questions that you have during the session. Almost any piece of software, a little bit about our company. Aero Consulting and Design is our main company, and we have a alter ego called aeronuke.com, where you may find a lot of sessions, free sessions that we have, and video tutorials. And we also have a portfolio called on a website called .NETnuke.mobile. Now, almost any piece of software needs a means of customizing its behavior and setting information about its environment. These pieces of information are called configuration settings, and usually they're stored in configuration files, the registry, INI files, or the database. Settings can be complex, and we've seen a move from the INI files to the config files because of that reason. But most settings are pretty simple, and they take the format of a key value pair. And that's what you see in the registry. Now, .NET Nuke settings, .NET Nuke Core provides a simple mechanism for storing such settings. And we have several types of settings that can be stored in .NET Nuke. Some of the settings are installation settings, also known as host settings. Others are portal settings or site settings. There are settings for your particular module and also for tab modules. And I'll go in a little bit, I will show a little bit of a demo on settings. All right. To access host settings in your environment, you would go to host and then host settings. And probably one of the better known settings is the SMTP server. Right. So you can go into advanced settings, SMTP server, and set up the server for your entire host installation. So this will affect and be available to all the sites in your installation of .NET Nuke. All right. Now, some more specific settings that are available for a particular portal installation or site are found in site settings. And this is where you can put your copyright for a particular website. Now, going further and looking into module settings, those can be found can be accessed in two different ways. Either through the menu that appears in the default skin on the top, or through this icon here on the bottom right of the menu. There's three different areas that appear for a module: the module settings that are the default settings, page settings, and then these are the custom settings that you can affect programmatically through code. And this is the area that we will be talking about today. So what we've reviewed here is how to access the settings through the user interface. Now, before I move further, for those people that are new to .NET Nuke, I would like to review some of the terms that are used in the settings, so that just to avoid some confusion. First term is installation or the host. An installation is a version of .NET New gets installed on a computer on a particular website, and it's comprised of a database installation and a web root in your IIS installation. Okay, it has a web config file that points to your database, and as you've heard somebody here, they can have some 800 portals on a site, but you could have multiple installations on a particular machine. So a server can have different installations of .NET New with different versions in each installation. So there's no restriction there. A site is an independent website inside a .NET Nuke installation. And it's got its own pages, its own security, its own set of files, and it is identified by a portal ID. So that's what refers to a particular site. It lives in the portals table and in the database. Now, a module definition is the specification of a piece of functionality or software, including its behavior, its user interface, the data, and its settings. It is identified by a module definition ID, and it lives in the module definition table. Now, for those people that do object-oriented programming, the concept here is that of a class. You're basically defining the structure and not a particular implementation or installation instance of it. To avoid confusion for our discussion today, I wanted to differentiate between a module definition and a module instance. Many times we refer to both of them as just the word module. Let's create a new module. Let's install a new module, and then let's add a module to a page. When you add a module to a page, it's a very different concept than defining a module. So I will refer to it today as a module instance. It is identified by a module ID, and it lives in the module table. Right. Now, you could, on different pages on your website, add the same module definition, creating two instances, just like you can instantiate two objects of the same class. But you could also have the exact same instance appear on two different pages. And that is called a tab module. And it's nothing but a pointer to your module instance. In fact, even if you just create one module instance on a page, it will also have a module reference that appears on the page. That's what actually appears on the page. So I made a little diagram just to clarify this. The listing on the left, the listing module that I'm going to use in a demonstration, has a module definition ID of 99. I have it on two different pages as two separate instances. And then from there, I created for the first instance two separate pages that refer to the exact same instance of the module. And then for the second module instance, I just created it on one page. So there's only one reference for it. All right. Now I'll go into a little more in-depth demo of custom settings and how you can use them for your modules. I created a page here called the listings page, and I'm going to add a module to it called listings. Listings is just a simple module that we've created to allow you to list some items in any variety of formats. And it'll appear in the content pane, as Will has explained. And I'm just going to add a listing to it. And as you see, it just got some data in that's listed there. Now let's go to a different page, and you see that the exact same module has completely different data. So the state of an instance belongs to just that instance. However, the structure that the instance uses is the same across all instances. All right. And I have yet another page called New Listings, just so you can see that we have different sets of data